And good evening and welcome to another edition of Kearney Live. I'm Jim Dickerson along with Stacy Bratcher and Leonard Broughton. And we have quite a show lined up for you today because there is apparently a lot of stuff going on. We'll see what you want to talk about first. There's a pit bull thing going on in Kearney. There's a strike getting ready to happen over at the car place. The car place,
car
like the way I
place,
say
yep.
that.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Travis Kelce is dating Taylor Swift, and Lynn is all disturbed about
We just
that.
have it all.
We're going to talk about that in just a minute. We've got Mitt Romney has decided he's not going to run for Senate anymore. We've got that. And somebody has a phone turned on somewhere, and I'm going to lay odds it's Lynn.
Not me.
No, it was me. Thanks.
It was the guy
that
Wow.
wait a minute. I got blamed.
Lynn had the app on earlier. It was kind of funny, so we
yeah.
had that. But
That's true.
So let's break it down.
Okay.
The funny thing is, so the pit bull ban, because we've talked a lot in this show about AI. So the pit bull ban, the city of Kearney is. Why are you laughing?
Where does AI go with the pit bull?
If you listen to the story, you're going to find out.
Okay, I got you. I will say.
As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, Kearney is having a discussion session where you can give your opinion about the pit bull ban. Well, they posted it on Facebook, and Facebook removed it through AI.
Oh, okay.
See where I'm going
I
there?
got you.
Because this is one of the problems with AI. AI doesn't understand the context of what you're trying to say. So apparently Facebook thought it was some negative thing, when in reality, the city of Kearney is simply
Survey.
trying to learn about what the citizens think about the pit bull ban. If you want to take part in that survey, you must live in Kearney or be a Kearney resident. And I guess if you live in Kearney, you would be a Kearney resident. Hey, Brian.
Let's start over.
Why do you write this silly stuff on the teleprompter?
That's what you told me to write.
Because
What are
you
talking
know
about? Come on.
anything that's on that teleprompter, I will read. In other news, Taylor Swift and Kelce are dating. Lynn, what can you tell us about that?
I've just read about it today, so I shared that with you. That they're
well,
dating.
you see-
I was shocked. They're both
Fascinating.
33 too. I didn't know that.
Well,
It's a
I will
secret.
sleep
Oh,
better.
it's a secret,
But they're
is it?
saying it's a secret. I guess they've been
Oh.
seeing each other in secret. That's what the
Okay.
rumors are.
Uh-huh.
So maybe he's not really hurt.
Well, shouldn't he be concentrating on
Let's start
football?
that one. Let's start that
He
rumor.
couldn't
He's
make
not
the
really
first
hurt.
game because he was a little busy.
Yeah, right.
They had a
Oh,
dinner
my.
date at the Pizza Hut or something. Well, so now we
They would
know.
be a cute couple.
And Aaron Rodgers is out.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're not going to talk about that because
That's too bad.
Stacy's pretty distraught over that.
Browns won.
The Browns won. So as you know, Leonard and I go back and forth over the Chiefs-Browns thing. And if you would have asked me a week ago, I would have said I probably would have bet a lot, like my
He even
car
said he
or
would
something.
bet.
Yeah. And I never thought the Chiefs would lose, and I never thought the Browns would win in the same week.
Exactly.
So this week we
Yeah.
play the Jaguars. I'm a little concerned, and
We're
you guys
Pittsburgh
play
Monday night.
Pittsburgh. That's right, Monday
But
night.
the players are getting hurt for Pittsburgh, so that's a good thing. It's supposed to rain too there. Now, here's a funny story. My son lives 25 minutes, 30 minutes from Cleveland. He goes, Dad, it's sunny here. The whole Cleveland game, it rained. And that was like the only spot that was rained.
Interesting.
That is weird.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I will be wagering nothing on this weekend. In other news, a little tribute to Stacy and to Brian because they are both up for awards at the
Nice.
Harvest Gala.
Nice.
Brian's up for like Dude of the Year.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think
Dude of
this
the
is your
Year?
second go around at Dude of the Year, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I hope to get it this time.
Yeah.
There's no pressure. Right?
Wow. I feel like
Well, I think last year Julie got it from Tobacco Barn Farm, didn't she?
That was
Dude of the year?
Julie didn't get
it's
Dude of
Person
the
of the Year.
Year.
Oh,
First
no.
of the year.
She got chamber dedication last year.
Well, that's
Who
pretty
was-
good too.
I forgot who was Dude of the Year last year.
Dude of the Year was Larry Pratt.
That's right. That's right.
would be Citizen of the Year or the Bob Tate Award.
So Brian got beat out by Larry Pratt, and he's not jealous, just so you know. And Stacy, you're up for some stuff too.
Yeah, but I don't get to win. But it's really sweet that people nominated me.
What do you mean you don't get to win?
And I'll be standing up there as the MC, and the award goes to me.
Stacy,
Oh.
yeah, there you
I got to
go.
be honest.
That would be great.
I have
That
been to
would be
more than
great.
one banquet
Cute.
where that has actually happened.
Oh, that would be good, though.
So
No.
we have another news story we're going to talk about, but we will talk about it later, apparently. I don't know where we're going to fit it in, but we will. But Stacy
right.
wants to really, if you are in a good mood right now, Stacy's going to ruin. Oh,
Lynn.
if you're in a good mood. Oh, yeah, it does say Lynn right there. If you're in a good mood, Lynn is here to ruin it for
There
you.
you
Lynn,
go.
what do you got for us?
Well, prepare for pain at the pumps. Missouri gas prices are sparking again. We'll talk about that next on Kearney Live.
Sparking? Who said sparking?
There's something for everyone at the Kearney Enrichment Council. Spark Studios after-school programs at the old firehouse use STEAM-based activities to help kids learn, create, and find new hobbies and skills. The Enrichment Council supports our senior community with fun activities and necessary services at the Kearney Senior Center. All of Kearney comes out for our festivals, concerts, farmers markets, movies in the park, parades, and much more. The Kearney Enrichment Council, 106 South Jefferson Street in Kearney, 816-635-0566. Improve quality of life, find your place, build a better future in Kearney. The Coach Minnick Show is on the air. Jim Dickerson and Mike Davis take you inside Kearney Bulldog football. The ways and hows of strategy, the honest assessment of skills, and the lessons learned. Go inside your favorite team every week on The Coach Minnick Show. Thursday mornings at 11:30 on KMO-TV and 102.7 FM, Kearney's hometown radio station.
Welcome back to Kearney Live. Missouri drivers beware. Gas prices could spike anywhere from 50 cents to $1 over the next several days, according to a popular gas price website, Gas Buddy. Watch this clip.
And we're getting you prepared for higher prices at the gas pump. Gas Buddy says you'll soon be paying more in both Kansas and Missouri. Over the next several days, the price could go up anywhere from 50 cents to $1 per gallon. Gas Buddy says a refinery outage may be to blame for this. Here in the metro, prices are already on their way up. A week ago, a gallon was $3.51. Right now, it is nearly 20 cents more.
This is occurring as the nation comes off already increased gas prices ahead of Labor Day. As we come off the Labor Day weekend, you know, normally gas prices usually go up, usually
Right.
around the holidays.
Yep.
Stacy. Production cuts by the Saudi Arabia
Yep.
and OPEC members, low U.S. inventories, and refinery maintenance in the Northeast contribute to 22 cents per gallon jump in retail gasoline prices on August 28th. What's really to blame for us paying $4 a gallon instead of $2 a gallon? What do you guys think? I'll ask Stacy first.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm sure there are lots of facts. I just got a text from my son, who is just about to be 22, and he went and purchased his groceries for I don't know how long, the week, maybe two. And he just texted me, he goes, why are groceries so freaking expensive right now? He just spent $200 for a single young man to eat. So, and I told him, I said, well, food historically goes with the same trajectory as fuel does. I know our government, our leaders in our government have a lot to do with those prices. I don't understand all of it and why our politics affect that, but I know that they do. And I know there's things that our government can be doing about that to ease the burden on the American people. I would appreciate it if you'd look into that. Thank you. I'm trying to be nice here. But it's absolutely ridiculous. It has jumped. What did we say, Brian? We were talking earlier today. It jumped at least 10 to 20 cents earlier at the beginning of the week, and then today maybe another 10 to 20 cents depending where you're at. So we've already gotten close to the 50-cent mark. It's going to keep going up till it hits that $1. So I don't know. To answer your question, I don't know.
Right? Reopen the pipeline
that
that was shut off.
That sure would be nice.
That would help.
It'd help a lot.
So a couple of questions. Number one, $200? You
Yeah.
know, that's a lot of frozen pizza.
I don't know
Yeah, I
what,
was
I'm
looking
gonna
at
have to
this.
find out what he
What's
spent
he
$200
You
on.
might have to actually make something on your own.
don't
Get
know.
out of the old TV trays.
No, I think that was buying. That's what he. Yeah.
So we knew this was coming. If you watch the oil prices by the barrel, it's been shooting up. It's it was $90 a barrel. I think this morning it'll probably tap 100. I would think
100.
by next week anyway. But there's so many things to do. First of all, we were what was it? 3 years ago, we were energy independent pretty much in the United States.
Yes.
We've completely shut that off. The second thing that we keep trying to do, and it's not working, is we keep trying to funnel and force people into this electric vehicle thing.
Right.
The interesting thing is time and time again, people are learning that we don't have the infrastructure for this. And you just saw the thing a couple of weeks ago, or was it last week, where they tried to do a big PR event to show, we're going to travel across the country.
That was funny.
And it failed
didn't work,
miserably. It
right?
didn't work. We don't have the infrastructure
No.
for it. Lynn, I'm going to ask you
Correct.
this because you're in the auto
Correct.
industry. As an auto executive and a CEO,
It's above my pay grade. No, go ahead.
so Ford, and I know you don't work for Ford. Full disclosure, where are we at? Full disclosure, Lynn doesn't work for or represent Ford.
Correct.
But they are going back to now doing a hybrid because they're scaling back on this
Correct.
EV thing. Are the auto manufacturers starting to realize that the EV, we're not there. We're not there.
Well, me working for GM, General Motors was planning on 2025 being all electric. I know they've decided we've scaled back, and we are, because we make the Malibu, which is a gas vehicle. But I know now, I don't know when the date is, but now I know that 2025 is not going to happen. Because first of all, you got to retool the plants and get the plants ready for that, and we're not there yet. Tesla and them are kind of ahead of us, but I know Ford really, they went all in on it, and they took a huge loss. So now they're trying to backtrack and do. I actually like the flex fuel.
Yes. Why aren't we
aspect,
using more flex fuel?
Because GM has the I can't think of the car name now, but they have it's smaller. The
Volt?
The Volt.
Yeah.
The Volt, which is flex. You can plug it in, and then you can also
My
it has
F-150
gas.
takes flex fuel. I just
Right.
filled it
I
up
think
for
that,
$50.
I think that's the way to go. But the problem is you want to get rid of fossil fuels. And I just read, and I'm not picking on parties, but the article was talking about the Democrats are saying the quicker we get out of fossil fuels, the quicker we should mandate electric cars.
No.
So that's where the push is.
Mandates
they want to
are
get
not
rid
good.
of the,
They
we
don't
want to
work.
get rid of the fossil fuels so they can mandate.
Sorry.
You don't like mandates?
I do not like mandates.
Wait till we do another mask.
So,
I know
but
it.
I could just say for General Motors, they have not come out and said when that new time is. Well, we're going to try to make a transition, and they've not said is it going to be 50-50, 60-40.
Isn't someone else working on an alternative fuel? Is it Tesla or somebody? There's an alternative fuel being
Teslas are electric.
created. I can't remember who.
Well, and then I heard also, and I don't know how, Ford and GM are also, and probably Chrysler, which they're they have a different name, but I still call it Chrysler. They're also going to buy into the Tesla thing where they can use those stations. I guess there's adapters they'll be able to put on cars to make that happen. Because he came out and just, I mean, he's putting them out on high Vs. They're all over. Now I sat in a meeting and they were talking about having like gas stations where you can go and you can charge up there.
That's great, but you can't. So I can get in and out of a gas station in 4 minutes.
Correct.
But you can't charge a car in 4 minutes. That's
Right.
number one. Number two, I would like to ask the people in Florida, after the hurricane, how did that electric car thing work for
Correct.
you?
That's
You can't charge your
Well,
car.
even
if
down
it's-
in Dallas,
Well,
when you
or
couldn't,
because they're talking about that
all
right
the
now in
electricity
Dallas.
went
They're
out.
talking about the grid issues that are
That's
going
right.
to happen again in Texas, and so that electric thing is not going to work. And
Yeah.
then our houses aren't even set up for them because basically you need to get a full charge. You need like a dryer outlet. So you're going to probably see newer homes being built with that in the garage. So
there's two things here. Number one, we're not ready for it. That's
No.
clear. Number
It's a
two,
job.
and I've told this story 1,000
and it's
times.
no cheaper.
When I go to California and you get in the car, the first thing you hear is commercials. Please do not charge your car from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Well, if I work during the day, when am I supposed to charge my car?
Well, it's going to be like that here in Missouri with Evergy. They're saying
That was my next thing.
don't use major appliances between 4 and 8 p.m.
Well, and they've started this new rate plan where
Yep,
you get
that's what I'm talking
penalized
about.
if you use
Major
different
appliances
during certain hours.
during 4 to 8 p.m.
Why don't we, instead of forcing technology, let it develop naturally? We are constantly, as America, the United States, when we used to pride ourselves on advancing technology, and we can do it, but we do it better when you do it at its natural pace. In other words, we're developing technology and then we find out, okay, oh, we can do this and this. It's just like anything else. When you force somebody into it, now you're making mistakes. It doesn't come along as naturally, as
Right.
quick.
Well, and see,
it's not going to work.
And when Obama was there, and that's when the Volt came out, they were trying to give big rebates if you went and changed to that electric / flex aspect. And but the car was still, I mean, you can see the Volt. It's kind of like the size of a Cruise. I'm trying to think of a Ford thing to compare it to, but
Focus.
I mean, yeah, a Focus. They were saying 70 to 80,000 for that vehicle.
Well,
Jeez.
that's
I
the
mean,
other
that's
thing.
a lot of money for. But they say you're going to save it, and I'm like, it's
You
still
really,
a lot of money.
so we've talked about this on the show before too. You really, the little nugget that they left out, and I was shocked at how many people didn't understand. When you go to those charging stations, it's not free.
No,
You have to pay for it.
Exactly.
They leave that little nugget out, and then you get there, and now you've paid $80,000
And then they're not
for
working.
a car. Well,
And I
they
think
don't
that's what
work.
happened with whoever. The one I
Yeah,
think you're talking about, there was a lady
Yep.
that went, but the problem was they said she had like a fleet with her, but they had all gas vehicles because she couldn't make it all the way across because of
Some of
charging
them,
spaces weren't working.
They weren't working. The other thing they did, which they got caught, apparently
Yes.
they had an advanced crew going out to reserve slots to make sure she could get
She
in.
could get in.
The average citizen doesn't
Isn't gonna have that.
So what happens when you're traveling cross country, across the state, and you go to Bob's charging station for 20 minutes and you can't get in? Then what do you do?
When I left, Kelly and I went out to eat at Mods in Liberty, and we sat there. I think we came out and we watched this poor little kid running around a car there at Hy-Vee because her mom was charging. And he was bored to death. I mean, he didn't want to sit there, but it takes. I mean,
Wow.
it gets somewhat of a charge.
You know, one of the things I would do, I would protest. But the problem I have is that I recently decided that I'm against protesting, but I don't know how to show it. No, that's wrong. I'm against picketing and I don't know how to show it.
Oh my.
Anyway.
So you want to protest something?
No, I don't want to protest anything, but
Oh.
I have a feeling you want to talk
Okay,
about
well,
it.
fine. But when does protesting go too far? And what can other people do when it affects them? We'll talk about it next here on Kearney Live.
Migraine headache. The Migraine headache. The throbbing in your temples. The pounding in your forehead. Extreme sensitivity to light and sound. Your neck. feels so tight it could snap off. Oh, the debilitating pain.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Strathman with Kearney Family Chiropractic Center, and I've been practicing chiropractic health in Kearney for over 22 years. When you come to see me, I identify what's wrong and determine if I can help you. If I can, I create your personalized plan for relief.
When you have pain, you can make an appointment by calling 816-628-6738. Or you can visit the office at 301 South Platte Clay Way, Suite B in Kearney. Kearney Family Chiropractic Center. Heal yourself.
Simplify your banking, simplify your life. It's easy with Kearney Trust Company. Kearney Trust goes beyond convenient locations and good customer care to offer banking services that make managing your finances quicker and easier than ever before. Online, bill pay, e-statements, and mobile banking are available to give you a positive banking experience so you can get back to your life and activities. Kearney Trust also provides capital to people and businesses so they can achieve their goals. Whether you know exactly what you want or just need someone to talk to about your dream, you can speak with them and work on that dream. Kearney Trust Company is your partner for success with 2 convenient locations in Kearney at 310 West 92 Highway and 701 Watson Drive in Price Chopper. The phone is 816-628-6666. Kearney Trust Company. Banking you can trust. Member FDIC.
More reliable power means more of what you love. You expect your lights and appliances to turn on at the flip of a switch, and so does Platte Clay Electric Cooperative. That's why Platte Clay is working hard to make power more reliable in the Northland. We exist for one purpose: to empower communities and energize life with safe and reliable energy. To learn more about their plan to reduce outages across the Northland, visit www.pcec.coop/reliability. Platte Clay Electric Cooperative.
Welcome back to Kearney Live. Protesters, for any number of reasons, are becoming more popular and more frequent. Most recently, this happened at the U.S. Open.
Climate activists halt the U.S. Open women's semifinal between American Coco Gauff and Czech Karolina Machova for nearly an hour Thursday. With Gauff up a set and holding serve to open the second, a disturbance erupted in the Arthur Ashe Stadium. The protests involved 3 climate activists. 2 were removed peacefully, while the third had glued his feet to the cement floor. He was later freed and was escorted out of the stadium in handcuffs. They were calling for an end to fossil fuels.
Okay, so yes. So when do protests go too far? Are protests even effective anymore today? And what can be done to stop them?
Well,
Gentlemen?
Nothing says I hate fossil fuels like gluing your feet to the floor.
That's the new hands, feet, whatever.
That's just dumb.
My
thing is this on the protesting. If you're going to protest, fine, but you cannot inhibit other people's ability to enjoy things or to go on with their life, get
That's
to
right.
work or their bar mitzvah or whatever else.
Right.
This video
That's
here,
it right there.
This video here, I think you're going to see this more and more. People are getting fed up with this stuff. And somebody's going to get hurt because there are some videos, we don't have them here, I don't think. But there's some videos where people are deciding to drive on and they're running over the protesters.
Well, this guy's working.
Yeah,
right?
that's what
he's
I'm saying.
stopping him from doing his job.
And he's a truck, so he's got stuff on there that other people need.
And he's probably on a deadline.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And there's the thing, this guy gets fired. Why? Are they getting paid to protest? No.
So that's what I think. The problem is that there's no recourse for these protesters,
Correct.
and I think there
totally
needs to
agree.
be. So, for example, the how do I say this gently? The idiot who glued his feet to the floor, I think so. And here's a good way to do it. Here's a good way to. So, how much time did they say they spent? Was it 20 minutes getting them out?
I think it was.
And so I think he should be fined. But how much, do you ask? Well, let's do this. How much did the sponsors who paid for commercial ads pay for 30 seconds worth of ads in the U.S. Open? Take that amount, whatever it was, and multiply it till you get 20 minutes, and then that person owes either the U.S. Open or however they want to divvy the money out. Give it to the fans.
Or charity
or a charity or whatever. Well, but you got to punish the people, because you can't just go on ruining people's lives because you want to
people were very upset at the U.S. Open with that. I mean, at those protesters, which that needs to happen, right? And that's the whole thing, is because if you watch tennis on TV, it's a quiet sport. I mean, yeah, there's some cheering, but they tell them to be quiet. And then for them to do what they did, and then also like we showed that video there, we got now people gluing their hands to the streets so these cars can't go by, because they're thinking, no one's going to run me over. Well, but what it takes is someone getting run over, right?
And then you've got people who are destroying boats, pieces of art that are non-replaceable, by the way.
Right, exactly.
And that there has to be a recourse to that. There was something else I was going to say about gluing your feet to. The thing that happened with the U.S. Open that no one really talks about. Anybody who's taken part in sports knows there's a flow to the game, and when you interrupt the flow, it interrupts the game. And one of the reasons we watch these competitions is because we like to see the best of the best. And I personally, I'll use football as an example. I hate it when you're watching a football game and it's just pouring down rain, because it ruins the athletic flow of the game. They keep playing, and I get it, and I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying I prefer to watch a game in its natural in its natural habitat.
Well, you got to think that girl.
But she had to go back to the locker
room.
room.
Was like 17, right?
Right.
And she won it.
But
that was the semifinals.
She had to go back to the locker room, and so your body starts to cool down, and now you're in a different environment, and then you come back out, and you have to re-warm up.
The mental
aspect. It ruins the whole flow to the game. And I just think you have to start holding these people accountable. And if when that happens, it'll stop post quick. Like you said, Lynn, you get a couple of people run over, that'll stop. But the problem is, who's
going to get in trouble?
Who do we get in trouble? The guy or girl who runs them over. There was one place where they were stopping an ambulance.
That's just wrong.
But again, there's no recourse to it.
Yeah,
what do you think there, Stacy?
I said it. It's wrong. I'm fine with Martin Luther King, Dr. King. His protests were, I wasn't there, but from what I understand, they were peaceful. They were meant to be peaceful. They were meant to be loving. They were meant to be educational. But this stuff where you're just blocking other people's lives and throwing a temper tantrum, those aren't productive. I don't understand the point of those.
And like you talked about at the beginning, I mean, General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler are about getting ready to strike the UAW workers. And there was one thing that came out for all three to say, do not block anyone from getting in and out of the plant. Do not stop any trucks, because the last time people almost got hit because they were trying to stop. And even the UAW officials are saying, don't. Stay out of the way. Someone's going to come in and out of that plant. Don't stop them from doing that.
Right.
You're out there for a reason, yes, but do not stop anyone from doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah,
totally agree. And I, you know what? And I've been to sporting events, and I think this is when certain, like the Michael Vick thing was going on. I've been to sporting events, and there's people there that have been protesting. But they're doing it. They're across the street. They're not right in front of the stadium. I remember walking in with one of my boys, and he's like, "What are they doing?" I go, "Well, they were protesting. Whatever the situation was, I can't remember. It was something with sports."
Right.
And I go, "Well, they're protesting. That's part of their rights." And they were actually doing it right. They were staying on the other side of the street with their signs, and they were just doing their chanting and all that. But they were not in the road. They were not over front saying, "You can't go to the ball game" or whatever it was, because they were protesting in the right way. Now we just think, we got a lot of people that think they're entitled and they're just going to get in the way. And like I said, that I watched that guy. It took him, I think, an hour, and he was screaming, but he glued his hands to the street, and they were chiseling to get it. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
They were showing.
I think if you hook a chain to him and just pull, eventually his hands will come right off.
I don't know.
But I bet he wouldn't do that again.
Is
Brian?
it getting yourself on the TV? Is that part of it too?
There's other ways to get yourself on TV.
I don't know.
So what about people who hold out on contracts?
Yeah.
Like Chiefs players.
Oh boy.
Can you do that? So what
apparently.
Yeah. So everybody's talking about Chris Jones. He is back, but he held out for a long time.
For what?
That's what we're going to talk about when we come back. Stacy is really upset about this. She's going to talk about it when we come back. Stay with us.
Simplify your banking, simplify your life. It's easy with Kearney Trust Company. Kearney Trust goes beyond convenient locations and good customer care to offer banking services that make managing your finances quicker and easier than ever before. Online, bill pay, e-statements, and mobile banking are available to give you a positive banking experience so you can get back to your life and activities. Kearney Trust also provides capital to people and businesses so they can achieve their goals. Whether you know exactly what you want or just need someone to talk to about your dream, you can speak with them and work on that dream. Kearney Trust Company is your partner for success with 2 convenient locations in Kearney at 310 West 92 Highway and 701 Watson Drive in Price Chopper. The phone is 816-628-6666. Kearney Trust Company. Banking you can trust. Member FDIC.
Electric cooperatives are different. We have a sense of pride in our local community and support the people who live here. That's why Platte Clay Electric Cooperative supports local schools, takes an active role in economic development, and works hard to keep costs down for its members. We exist for one purpose, to empower communities and energize life with safe and reliable energy. To learn more about how Platte Clay Electric Cooperative is working to achieve that mission, visit www.pcec.coop. Platte Clay Electric Cooperative.
You may have noticed your shoulder hurting, or maybe a kink in your neck. The culprit may be looking right at you. Your phone. Think about how you use it. Does that pain feel familiar to you?
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Strathman with Kearney Family Chiropractic Center, and I've been practicing chiropractic health in Kearney for over 22 years. When you come to see me, I identify what's wrong and determine if I can help you. If I can, I create your personalized plan for relief.
When you have pain, you can make an appointment by calling 816-628-6738, or you can visit the office at 301 South Platte Clay Way, Suite B in Kearney. Kearney Family Chiropractic Center. Heal yourself.
All right, I just want to let everybody know during the commercial I got yelled at for 2.5 minutes by our producer for a timing issue. So we've got a little bit of time left and a lot of things to cover. And if you've ever been chastised at work, it just happened to me. Brian is ruthless. Ruthless. So let's talk first. Let's go in order. Chris Jones just signed a 1-year contract with the Kansas City Chiefs with incentives to pay him more for this season. Now, the star defensive everybody knows who Chris Jones is. He was holding out all of offseason through the pregame or the preseason games. I am destroying this whole thing. But he was in search of a contract extension. He got a 1-year extension. Take a look at this, and then we'll talk about it.
Give us a sense of where things stand right now with the Chiefs and your contract.
Can't really talk about it. Hopefully it gets worked out. It's always been my goal to be on Kansas City Chiefs for life. I've said that multiple times on social media platforms, from interviews, and they know where my position is at, and hopefully we can get something worked out for the long term.
Has this been frustrating for you?
Not
How would you
at all.
describe what it's been like?
It's been okay, peaceful for me. I've been in Miami, just training, staying focused, understanding that this is a process.
I feel like you let your teammates down at all. That's the criticism. That's the only criticism I've heard at all.
How? That's what I got to ask. How have I let them down? It's just like when you're at a job and you ask for an extension, right? And you ask for a raise, right? You're not letting anyone down. Who are you letting down for asking your boss for a raise, right? So when you take the personal feelings out of it, you kind of can get it. All I'm doing is asking for a raise.
Okay, so there's a lot of feelings on both sides of the story. Number one, there's a lot of people that said, hey, you had an agreement, you should have been there, you should have honored the agreement, you should have been there in preseason, you should have played the first game.
Yep.
There's other that say, yeah, you can renegotiate, and that so I will let Leonard talk, because you guys are getting ready. It's the same thing, kind of. You guys are getting ready to strike.
Correct. I can't tell General Motors I'm not coming to work till they pay me more. 'Cause I don't think.
Right.
I think that
you can.
Well,
it just may not work out in your favor.
It's about 3 days, and then they're going to send me a letter saying thank you for working for General Motors.
Yeah.
And you don't come back to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to me because Kareem Hunt did this last year to the Cleveland Browns. He called it a hold in. We're starting to see more of that. He went to practice but was not going to play. It was before the season even started. He says, I'm holding in, not holding out. I'm here, but I'm not going to play until, I get paid more. He wanted that extension. And I get it. Their lives, they only have so many years that they can play, right? But they're already making $20 million.
Right.
So I don't know. If you're not investing your money right, that's not my fault. But he ended up not holding in. He ended up playing. He just decided, okay, I'm done with this. But he felt the water to see how it would happen. And this thing Chris Jones did was very interesting, because to show up to the game, now granted they had a thing with the Super Bowl, so I'm sure that's part of the reason he was there, but to show up and sit, but to show up and sit with your agent, a lot of people in Kansas City, friends of mine, were not happy with that picture right there. I mean, he is there sitting with 2 phones.
Did you notice he had a Seahawks hat?
I didn't notice that. That is the thing. I didn't get that
what the
either.
Point of that was.
I didn't understand what that was either. But then to go see, he did it for $1.86 million, right? He's got so many incentives at it, and it's like Super Bowl MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, it's things that, could he do? Yeah, but it's a stretch. But here's the funny part. Kansas City can tag him next year if they really wanted to. They got the franchise tag.
I don't know what that means, tag him.
They can franchise tag one player each year. Since he's going to be a free agent, the Chiefs can say, well, we're going to pay you. It's a percentage of the highest defensive tackle in the league. So he's going to make a certain amount of money. You can only do that so many times. But my gut feeling is they're going to try to trade him. I think just because it's kind of what they did to Tyreek Hill.
There is no I in team. I'm sorry.
Actually, there is, and I'm not allowed to talk about it, but there is, and I'll show you in the break. So
I don't think I want to say that.
I already know.
I do understand. So I understand both sides. I understand that they need him.
Correct.
If you're on the team, you need to be on the team. The second, I do understand too, though, hey, I did this. This is my value. My worth has gone up since my last contract. I understand that. A lot of people too talk about, well, he's already making whatever it is, $19 million a year. I get it. It's a lot of money. He plays a sport. However, the other side of that, which I fully understand, is the league, the team as a whole, makes a lot of money because of guys like him.
Exactly.
Patrick Mahomes, who makes, I don't know, $6.6 billion a year or whatever it is. But look at all the things he brings to the team. And it's not only to the team, it's to the city. There
and look
are
what he gave
businesses-
up so he could stay
Correct.
with the team. He
Kelsey
gave things
does the
up.
same thing too.
And
They're
Kelsey too.
underpaid.
I gave
They're
things up
underpaid.
to have the job I have.
But I'm talking about, so there's a lot of people that complain that these guys are making so much money to play a game. True, but look at how much money they generate by playing that
Right.
game. Not only for the NFL, not only for the Chiefs, but businesses. There
Right.
are a
It's
lot of
crazy.
businesses that are benefiting because of what those guys do.
True.
Should they be paid for that? And do they make a lot of money? And the other thing is, keep in mind, a lot of these guys, Chris Jones's position is one. I think the average tenure for that position is 4 years.
Right.
That's average.
Correct.
You could always have an Aaron Rodgers moment. Now, granted, he's been in the league a long time, but you
Right.
never know as a football player when that's going to end. So,
Well, I think you should be paid for your worth, but when you're going to go out there and say that I just want to be a Kansas City Chief, that's all I really want is to be a Kansas City Chief, and your words don't match your actions, that's where the problem is.
So do you think he should have gone? So his argument is, and I don't know, his argument is if I go back and I start playing, then you're not going to do my contract because I'm here. And it's kind of like, well, he's here, so let's not worry about it. So what does he do? Does he go play or not?
Well, I think he has to decide, does he want the money or does he want to be a Kansas City Chief?
Right. Because they're not going to be able to pay them all.
Right.
And that's been kind of the problem with Kansas City is, like, and in being there, he probably seen the pattern. Well, Mahomes is taking less, Kelsey's taking less. We traded Tyreek Hill because he was coming up on a contract, right? And now I am the second behind Aaron Donald from the Rams. He's considered the second most desirable defensive tackle. Now, I think he's trying to push the Chiefs into trading him. I'm being honest. I believe that because he can make a lot of money, like the Dallas Cowboys. We're talking about different teams that don't care. They're willing to spend that money. It's just it's a tough spot because they've got to give up draft picks.
But the weird thing is, and I've never understood this, money. So when you get into certain parts of money, it begins.
Yeah,
I make $22 million here, but I make $28 million over there. But I'd also want to play on a team that I think has a chance of winning. The Dallas Cowboys, in my understanding, have already been eliminated. Is that right? I keep reading. These are jokes, folks. But you want to play on a team that has a really good chance of going all the way.
Well, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
They don't win the Super Bowl last year. The Eagles beat them. Is he doing this?
No.
Because he has a ring. So now he can sit back, and he said he put money away for his fines because he's been getting fined for not playing.
And that's another thing. So
his incentives make that money back.
But he kind of ends up where he was.
Exactly.
And and somebody said, well, no, he got all his money back, and I was like, yeah, but he lost a lot. And it's my understanding there would be no math. I get it, but. The ESPN analysts, which we know are always right, said that he basically either ended up exactly where he was or maybe a little under.
But like I said, he's got to be Super Bowl MVP, which how many defensive tackles are Super Bowl MVP? If they win another Super Bowl, which it could happen.
But that's the other thing. There were a lot of things I saw on that list where you get hurt in one game, that whole half that list becomes unattainable.
He'd been better off signing a contract to do a commercial like Coach and all the others do.
If you did you notice he is in I think it's a Spectrum commercial. That's him.
Yes. Is he?
Yes, it is.
So Kelsey's in it, and then the guy that dives across and hits the TV.
It's for a direct TV. It's for a TV. It might be Spectrum.
It's Spectrum or Direct TV or whatever. But
that is him.
That is him that jumps across and knocks the TV off. So. He is making now. Mahomes, on the other hand.
Oh my goodness!
He's on every.
He's on a Subway commercial. Bank.
He's kind of like when Baker Mayfield was with Cleveland. Whenever they showed a football game, you saw the Baker. The progressive commercials. But now you see Mahomes every time there's a game on. His commercials.
Every commercial.
And.
I will say he was.
That's the way to make the money, though.
That is, yeah.
I think Price Chopper and all them. If they're going to pay you, hey.
Yep.
Some commercials are bad and some are fun. Now, State Farm's funny. Andy Reid, I give Andy Reid credit. Andy Reid is good on
State Farm commercials are good.
Yeah.
The I like the Baker Mayfield commercials.
Oh,
those were good.
In the stadium. Yeah, those were good.
Where he was like,
those were really good.
Trying to get in the stadium. So that's enough of that. Now I've been told we have to go back to a news story that we didn't cover earlier.
Oh. Okay.
Tunnel to Towers is a nonprofit organization. And they pay the mortgages of fallen officers, surviving spouses.
Yes.
They also do the same for military. They just the other day paid off the mortgage of the Kansas City police officer that was killed with his canine. There's a story there. So his spouse doesn't have to worry about their house. That mortgage is paid off. Tunnel to Towers is an organization that I'll be honest, when they first said they were going to start doing that, I was like, they'll probably do it twice, and because that's very expensive. They have come through time and time and time again, and they keep doing it. So if you get a chance, look up Tunnel to Towers Foundation, and then they take donations and then turn it around. We talked a little bit about the show. I'm a little disappointed in this whole thing for a couple of reasons. Number one, I can't find other than one TV station where anybody covered this.
Talked about it.
They didn't even talk about it. Number two, the one station that I found that did would not refer to Tunnel to Towers. They referred to them as a nonprofit out of New York. And then you had to get way down in the story to find out who it was. Oh, wow. Tunnel to Towers is a very strong law enforcement and military-backed organization. That's their whole thing, and they pay off the mortgages of military personnel, and they also do not only that, not only ones that were killed, but they do ones that were disabled in combat. They build them houses that they're able to, handicap accessible type things. So, Tunnel to Towers. If nobody else will say it, I will. Go look them up. Donate if you want, but they are an organization that truly lives up to what they say. And a lot of the, and you can look this up, and a lot of the organizations that claim to be nonprofit, like 60 or 70% goes to administrative costs. Tunnel to Towers is very forthcoming. You can look at their sheets. 95% goes to
that's amazing.
The houses, the rebuilding of the houses, paying off the mortgages. Tunnel to Towers, look them up. Stay with us. Final thoughts coming up next.
Kearney Bulldog football is here, and you can listen to the game with live play-by-play action on the Bulldog Radio Network, right here on 102.7 FM, or our live stream on the KPGZ mobile app, or at 1027KearneyMo.com. The Bulldog Radio Network will broadcast the game live on Friday, September 22nd, as the Bulldogs take on the Winnetonka Griffins. The 102.7 FM pregame show starts at 6:40, and the kickoff is at 7 p.m. Kearney Bulldog football. Catch the fever.
And welcome back to this has been a long day. Welcome back to Kearney Live. It's time for final thoughts, and up first is Lynn Bird.
This weekend, Jesse James Festival.
Yes.
You can go to jessejamesfestival.com to figure out everything that's going on. As I'm looking at it right now, there's a free catfish tournament Friday from 6:30 to 8:30 for ages 12 to 15. There's many car shows. There's a car show it's an open car show, open motorcycle show, open tractor show, and that's all on Sunday. But Friday through Sunday is the festival. You can go on there. I know one day it opens at 8. There's different opening times and all that, but you can go right on this website. You can see what's going on. So go on out. Awesome. It was last weekend too, from what I saw.
It's like 2 different weekends.
Yeah, so
there's all kinds of
3
stuff
days this
happening.
weekend.
All right, so exciting. Stacy.
Okay, well, we mentioned it at the top of the hour, but we are going to talk about it again. The Kearney Chamber is getting ready to celebrate their annual Harvest Gala. It is a celebration of all of our member small businesses, well, all of our businesses, not big and small. We just appreciate everything that our businesses do for our community. They have been through so much in the last several years. They deserve a night where they can just let their hair down and celebrate. And
Stacy win. Brian and Stacy win.
No, but we do have some really great businesses that have been nominated for our 5 different awards. You can find them on the Kearney Chamber website under Harvest Gala, but there are some fantastic nominations, and I can't wait to celebrate with everybody.
So when you say let their hair down, what are Lynn and I supposed to do?
Yeah, what,
I feel a little left out.
We'll bring a little bow and some Caro syrup, and we'll just put it on you.
Awesome. On Monday, Brian, Stacy, and I got to spend some time out at the 9/11 First Responders Lunch. It was over at Kearney Family Chiropractic. Wanted to say thanks for them putting that on. They fed a ton of first responders. Now, I will say this, on these pictures, those pictures were taken like the second the doors opened, if not before, because shortly after that, it was raining that day, so they moved it inside, but you couldn't even move in there. It was jam-packed in there. So we talked, there's a picture there, we talked to Sheriff Aiken. We talked to, there was Andy Martins of the basketball fame, but he's also Kearney Fire Protection District. Talked to a number of people. Lyle Updike did all the food. It was outstanding, more than outstanding. And then Tracy Tucker State Farm was also there, was
and Stella.
Stella was there as well. So there were a lot of people that helped put that event on. Dr. Strathman does that every year, does a great job. We enjoyed being out there, had fun with it. And we will have fun seeing you on Saturday if you missed today's show on the rerun. That's at 11 o'clock. And if you miss it then, Kearney Live will be back next week live. Join us tomorrow at 11:30 for the Coach Minnick Show. That's Mike and I. These two won't be there, but I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.